What up investors, it's your boy Dio. Welcome to Frontline Investment, where I talk about biogenomics on a daily basis. From Sunday to Sunday, I try to post at least one video. If you would love to learn more about biogenomics, this channel is for you, okay? Feel free to subscribe to this channel, join other members of biogenomics, those that are also invested in this company, and come here on a daily basis to learn more about their investment in this company. Whatever I show you in this video is just for educational purpose only. The financial market is a very dangerous place and you can lose a lot of money. Always do your own due diligence. Don't sue me, bro. Let's get to it. What's going on, investors? Welcome back to Frontline, where we talk about biogenomics. Okay guys, what I'm about to show you is going to blow your mind. Okay, we have about 18 scientists from all around the world coming together to put together a paper that is more or less saying that whole genome sequencing analysis is too expensive and it is time consuming for hematological malignancy analysis. Okay, and of course you guys already know that whenever it comes to cancer is a structural variation disease. Okay, and biogenomics is trying to replace old method of analyzing all these genomes, for cancer. That is what they are trying to replace. They want to replace those methods with the Sapphire device. Okay, so these scientists, about 18 of them, came together to argue that WGS is too expensive and it is time consuming, okay, whenever it comes to hematological malignancies, that it is still better to use the old methods of analyzing genomes, or perhaps optical genome mapping, of course. So they are not trying to say it directly, they are more or less saying it indirectly. So that paper is more or less about them arguing about why WGS is too slow and expensive and why clinics are not going to adopt it as much as they should today. Okay, and why, of course. And then I'm still going to dive deep into it. I'll show you guys, and of course I'm going to try to put a link below so that you guys can go there and read it by yourself, because this, of course, is what we talk about on this channel on a daily basis. And for 18 scientists to say this, I'm not making all these things up. Okay, now, not to waste your time, this is where we're going to be starting from today. BTIG, hosted an event today for the Snowbird MedTech Digital Health, Life Science and Diagnostic Tools Conference on February 15 to 17. And of course, the CEO of biogenomics, is set to attend this event today, okay, about 8:30 p.m., I believe, in Germany. But the thing is, this event is not easy to get to. Okay, they made it possible that you have to send them an email, then you have to note that look at that, please note that participants must be pre-registered to attend. So I was unable to attend this event, and nobody really knows how it went with the CEO. The last time they the event took place, that was last year, it was made public, but this time they made it private, so we don't know anything about this event. Okay, hopefully BNGO is going to talk about it, or we are going to see an article tomorrow about this event, or perhaps in the coming days there's going to be an article about the event, and we can finally see what the CEO said. Okay, I don't know why they made it private. So let's go straight to today's topic. So if you go to National Library of Medicine, okay, this is where things happen. Okay, pubmed.gov, this is more or less a government website. So you need to go under blood. Okay, under blood, that's where you find this article right here. You can see it's from yesterday. Okay, this paper, of course, guiding the global evolution of cytogenetic testing for hematologic malignancies. Okay, for those of you that don't know what this is, this more or less cancer. Okay, and so this paper was put together by these scientists right here. Look at them. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18. So 18 of them. Then if you click on them, you can easily tell where they come from and what they have been, so let's continue. For now, I'm still going to show you guys. So the abstract says cytogenetics has long represented a critical component in the clinical evaluation of hematologic malignancies. Chromosome binding studies, this right here is more or less karyotyping. Okay, Chromosome binding studies provide a simultaneous snapshot of genome-wide copy number and structural variation, which have been shown to drive tumorigenesis, define diseases, and guide treatment. Technological innovations in sequencing have ushered in our present day clinical genomics era, with recent publications highlighting novel sequencing technologies as alternatives to conventional cytogenetic approaches. We, an international consortium of laboratory geneticists, pathologists, and oncologists, describe herein the advantages and limitations of both conventional chromosome binding and novel sequencing technology. So in this paper, they describe the advantages and limitations of all these technologies. Okay, karyotyping, FISH, and of course CMA, chromosomal microarray, and then with whole genome sequencing and some other methods, and of course optical genome mapping. So that's what they did in this paper. Now it continues. They said, and share our considerations on crucial next steps to implement these novel technologies in the global clinical setting for a more accurate cytogenetic evaluation, okay, which may provide improved diagnosis and treatment management. Considering the clinical, technical, and economic implications, we provide points to consider for the global evolution of cytogenetic testing. So this paper, these scientists, okay, these 18 scientists, you guys, I think you guys already are familiar with some of them. This man right here is from Canada, Adam C. Smith, Dr. Adam C. Smith, okay. I know a few of them, okay. These scientists right here, they came together. They are trying to make sure, for global clinical setting and for accurate cytogenetic, they are trying to, help the clinics to adopt new technologies. That's more or less what it's all about. So in this paper, they describe why clinics are still unable to adopt whole genome sequencing, and the advantages of all these analysis methods out there, okay, and the disadvantages, the limitations, what they are trying to say, in my opinion, in a nutshell. For those of you that don't want to watch this video further, what they are trying to say is whole genome sequencing is too slow and it's too expensive for mass adoption, okay. And what they are trying to say is old methods, okay, like karyotyping, FISH, and of course microarray, is still the best option for now. It is cheaper, it is faster. Of course, it is labor intense, but it is still the best option. That is more or less what this paper is all about. And you guys already know that optical genome mapping is less labor intense. It's not super expensive like whole genome sequencing, and of course it can do more things. It can it depends on what you want to analyze, okay. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. It is more or less in 100% concordance with karyotyping, with FISH, and of course with chromosomal microarray, and of course it has some limitation as well. So that is more or less what this paper is going to be. So let's go to the paper and talk about it. So I meant to say that is more or less what this paper is all about. So this is where I'm going to start from. I'm going to start from this bottom right here. If you go to page 23 of this paper, okay, this is more or less 25 pages. It's posted on Blood, okay. You guys can see up here. So if you come right here, let me make it bigger so that you guys can see it clearly. I mean, this paper is super interesting. I mean, fascinating. So right here you guys can see table number 1, advantages, limitations, and clinical utility of currently available genomic technologies in hematologic malignancies. I don't know why I'm saying hematologic malignancies. So now you guys can see right here, this is karyotyping, okay. G banding is more or less karyotyping. Then you have FISH right here, okay. Fluorescence, then you have CMA, then you have whole genome sequencing, then you have targeted sequencing panels, RT-PCR, MPSEQ, WTS, and of course optical genome mapping, okay. Now you can see right here, this is how they they rank all these methods, okay. Now for analysis, they're analyzing. Of course, you have the DNA and the RNA. Then it comes down to coverage. Okay, whole, targeted. So this right here, these three guys right here, you guys can already forget about them, okay, because these more or less targeted. Okay, these are targeted. And of course, RT-PCR, if you come right here, if you come to the turnaround time, it is not as it takes less turnaround time than OGM is more or less 7 to 10 days according to this paper, okay, but RT-PCR takes about 4 hours to 5 days, okay. It depends on what you're looking for, but the problem is this is targeted, okay. This is more or less targeted, and this is RNA, and this of course is DNA. Now if you come down, because I want to first of all talk about this because of the turnaround time. Now, if you come down, okay, you can see that it is also limited whenever it comes to structural variation analysis, okay. This is very limited. Meanwhile, bionanogenomics, is not limited. And then if you come to copy number variations, okay, you can see it is also limited, and bionanogenomics is not limited. But this is cheaper than bionanogenomics. So those are the why this is out of it, okay. Now these three guys right here are the normal old school method that BNGO is trying to replace, optical genome mapping is trying to replace, okay. Don't let me say bionanogenomics, OGM. Of course, BNGO is the leader in optical genome mapping. So now you guys can see right here, okay. And then if you come to the cost, okay, you can see that karyotyping and FISH are cheap, and CMA is of course a little bit expensive, just like bionanogenomics. So it's just like OGM and CMA, they are more or less the same price, okay. And of course, CMA, if you come to the sensitivity, okay, 10 to 20%, meanwhile BNG starts from 5 to 20%. Then if you come to structural variations, CMA is unable to do that, okay. You guys can see right here, BNG can do it. So OGM can do it. So that is the why CMA. That is why OGM is the combination of these three guys right here. That is more or less what I'm trying to tell you. So OGM is the combination of these three guys, and I'm trying to look for where OGM is also better than. So another thing is distinctive of individual cell clone. So you guys can see right here, OGM. Here you say here you have yes, and for OGM you have no. Okay, for this analysis bias you have yes. It is biased, of course. Then here you have no. OGM is not. So OGM is more or less the combination of these three guys, and that is what of course BNG is trying to replace karyotyping, FISH, and of course CMA. That is more or less what we are trying to replace. So if you now take a look at whole genome sequencing, look at the price, guys. It is extra expensive. Look at that. 1 2 3 4 5 plus they put right here. Meanwhile OGM just has only 3 plus. And then if you come to WTS, I forgot the full meaning, you have 4 plus and you have 3 plus. So you also need to consider the prices, okay. You guys can see that old school methods are more or less cheaper than WGS, so it is expensive, okay. And then if you come to the turnaround time, it is also 7 to 14 days. OGM is 7 to 10 days. And the thing is, OGM, bionanogenomics, for example, they have come, they came up with a new device, okay. We saw the prototype of the next generation Sapphire device, and that is going to be even faster, okay. It's going to be faster. The turnaround time is going to be smaller than 7 to 10 days. And of course, there are some analysis out there that of course takes less than 4 days, for example. Okay, we saw how OGM was able to bionanogenomics Sapphire device. I can't really remember the article. Bionanogenomics Sapphire device was cut the turnaround time to about 4 days, I believe, instead of 8 days, something like that. There was an article a few weeks ago about how Sapphire was able to analyze that in faster, replacing Southern blot method, okay. So that is more or less what BNGO is up to right now. They want to reduce the turnaround time, they want to increase the resolution, and they want to, of course, make it cheaper for using their device. So that is more or less what the next generation Sapphire device is going to be all about, and it's coming next year, the first quarter of next year, okay. So I hope you guys can easily pause this video and go through all of this by yourself, of course. And now this document, okay, spoke about a lot of things. I don't even know where to start. This video is already about 40 minutes long. I don't want to dive too deep into this document. It's about 25 pages. I went through it 2 times, okay. like I already said, what they are arguing is, what it will take to make WGS, whole genome sequencing, to be able to make it possible for laboratories to adopt it. That's more or less what their argument is all about. Okay, as you guys can see in this chart, for example, sequencing coverage depth, and then they spoke about, they made some good point that I would love to share with you guys. Okay, now if you go down, introduction, blah blah blah, I want to show you some what it cost. Okay, what is going to, okay, so right here they said implementing new technologies in a clinical diagnostic laboratory to justify the introduction of a new clinical genomic assay as a replacement for the current gold standard cytogenetic testing, i.e. chromosome banding coupled with FISH. Multiple factors should be carefully considered. These include the following interconnected considerations: clinical, logistic, technical, and financial. Okay, under the financial, they spoke about how much it's going to cost laboratory to adopt new technology. And under clinical setting, logistic setting, technical setting, they spoke about why it is not easy for laboratories to adopt new technology, because they have old school methods. They have all their processes are already there that they have been using for years. It's not going to be easy for them to just switch over to new method that is even slower in the case of WGS, slower, than the old school method. Okay, even though if WGS is able to, analyze some things that, perhaps the old school method are not able to analyze, it is still slower. The result is not going to come in as fast as possible. And also, it is expensive to adopt WGS. For example, they spoke about how much it costs. Let me see. Okay, so right here, if you go under the financial consideration, they spoke about how much it costs. Okay, look at that. The total cost to run WGS as a clinical test with approximately 60x coverage is estimated to be from 1,300 US dollars to 2,500 US dollars range. Okay, and then they said it cost about 2 million US dollars for a laboratory running 1,000 WGS tests per year. Okay, that's a lot of money. Okay, meanwhile, this is significantly higher compared to chromosome banding, which remains in the range of 150 to 750 US dollars. So guys, they spoke about a lot of things in this, in this paper. I'm going to be sharing more with you guys little by little, and you guys can see the references. Okay, this paper is very small, but believe me, look at the reference. They were referencing a lot of papers, okay, from different scientists from around the world. So yeah, so I think that's where I'm going to end this video, guys. I mean, OGM is trying to replace old school method whenever it comes to cancer, hematological malignancies, and this paper literally killed whole genome sequencing in laboratory setting. That is more or less what these scientists, about 18 of them, are arguing. Look at that: Jasmine Akari from Legacy Health, United States; Linda Bogue from Mayo Clinic, United States; Dr. Adrian Dubush from United States, also Adam Smith from Canada. You have Malo from hospital, blah blah blah, Spain. So you have all the scientists from all around the world, from Argentina, from Germany, you guys can see right there, from different countries in the world, and coming together and arguing that, I mean, they are trying to say that, okay, we want WGS to be adopted in all over the world, but this is why it's not going to be easy. So, I mean, that is it. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. Now, remember your boy Dio. This is Frank. Ciao, ciao.